How's it going, everybody? It's Matt again, and we're going to take a look at the new 30-minute missions weapon set 03. I just got this in, and I was about to build it, and I almost forgot. Oh, crap, I got to film an unboxing. So, this one is going to come with the Zimmerman, the Coquille, the ACT-01s, and the Huxleys. Uh, but yeah, small box, just kind of like the other weapon sets that we've taken a look at. But there it is from the side. So show some of the stuff. There it is from the other side, from the top, showing their compatibility with everything. But yeah, of course, I really like the graphics. I always really like the graphics on their kits, so pretty cool. But we'll go ahead and open it up, see what we got in here. So here we are, just two runners. That's all there is. Looks like, do we get two Zimmermans? No. Well, that's kind of lame. You get like 90% of one Zimmerman and then just two parts to make either side. That kind of sucks. So you're just kind of left over. You got like half a Zimmerman left over. Oh well. So we got some of we got the pistols, looks like. Yeah, same thing, just got like a little swap out part to make either side, so that's interesting. Then on the other side, here we have, yep, all the different parts for the Huxleys. And there's the ACTs. It would have been nice if they gave us the parts to make the duo ACTs, so you could kind of have two of them together if you got two packs, but it doesn't look like they did that. It looks like they only have it for the one side. So, yeah. Alright. And then we have, of course, the little instruction manual here, which is pretty self-explanatory. Show everything going together. But yeah, that's about it. Alright, so let me build this thing and I'll come back. Alright, and we're back, and here are all the weapons all assembled. If you didn't see it already, there was a live stream. I am live streaming every time that I'm building these sets now, so I did a stream where I built this set and the next set, which I'll probably have a video out here pretty soon about. So if you want to see me building these, go check those out. They're on the live tab of my channel. But here are the new weapons. Obviously, here's the Zimmerman and the Conquille pistol. I'm sure I butcher that every time I say it, but I'm trying to say it the best I can. And then we have the Huxley and the ACT-01. So, yeah, I mean, they're all gray plastic, just like the other weapon sets, so we're already established what to expect with that. But I will say that the details are fairly nice on them. If I can pull it off. Here's a Zimmerman. It looks pretty good. Not half bad. Now, as far as this, I talked about it a little bit in the stream and on the unboxing, but we have a full Zimmerman and then 90% of one. God, I wish Bandai would stop doing this, because why not just give us the extra two pieces? So literally the only difference is this scope part and the end piece. If they had just given us those two pieces, we would have a whole other Zimmerman. That seems like really not cool, because all that this extra plastic is going to do is drive up the cost of the model kit. So this is just crap that I'm going to throw away to the side, and I can only make one. I hate that they keep doing that. They've done it with the other weapon kits too. I'm not a fan of that. I really wish they would just, like, why bother? Just only give me give all the parts, or design them in a way where you only swap out like a little piece to make it to the other side. Because, for example, this part here, the handgun. Here, I'll show you here what it looks like. The only difference between the sides is this top bit here. It's slightly different here compared to over here. So they give you this part to swap, to make it either side version. And that's fine. That's cool, because it's this tiny little piece. No need to include all of the extra parts of the gun to make the other side version. because it's only one little piece to swap out. It's not cool when they do it with stuff like the Zimmerman. But, I mean, the parts look good. They'll attach on hangers with these little posts here on the hands, or on the tops of the weapons, so you can put those on the hanger parts. I don't have one on hand, so I can't really show that. But onto the back parts here, and again, my frustrations will continue. So I'll talk about this here. So it's got 2 points of articulation, one there on this section, and then it's got another point of articulation here. Oh, it actually has a third point of articulation here too. It can rotate right there. So you've got a bunch of different places where you can position this. But same thing with this. So instead of just making this section down here the swappable piece, no, of course they wouldn't do that. They're going to give you the entire other part so that all that you would need is this extra arm piece to have another Huxley. Why? Why do they do that? This is a whole other weapon that is just going to get thrown in the trash, basically, because it's just a waste. I don't know. If you can tell, I'm just a little frustrated by that. I don't like that they keep doing that. But you can, of course, with the other stuff, you can also make it so you can make the hovering version of this, but you're going to need this section, the little gun part. You need to remove that from there, and then you need to put it in there to make the flying drone part. And then you can swap out this for that part. So then basically that's the flying version of the drone. But it's kind of unfortunate because you can't do anything with this because it plugs into that post on a 3mm action base that it doesn't come with. So can't really do anything with that either. Which is a shame. Because the details are actually really nice on this entire thing. Like, they did a really good job. The sculpt work is really nice. It's just a shame that they're just, it just seems like cutting corners to me, to be honest. But this part over here, this is the ACT, or the active missile launcher. It does have an articulation point here, and it has an articulation point here, and it has another articulation point here. Now this one's actually pretty decent. Of course, I wish that they had included parts to make it so these kind of bays could open and then the missile would be showing like in the activated mode, but of course they didn't because they haven't for any of the other missile launchers, so whatever. But to make the other side version, you're going to have just this central part here that you'll swap and then move the arm to the other side, and then you can make the other side. So that one's not quite as offensive as like the Huxley and what the Zimmerman was. But yeah, the sculpt work on it is pretty nice. The only weapon, the couple weapons in this set that I have already made, I already made the Huxley. Like, I made a 3D printable version of it, and I've made the pistols. I don't have them on hand to show, but I did already make those. They're comparable. With mine, I made it so there was like a bracket that came off so that you could make the orbit hover. And I kind of was hoping that they would do something similar, because this is kind of useless. If I don't have this specific action base, I can't do anything with this. But that's kind of a bummer. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, they're cutting corners with a Zimmerman too. It doesn't surprise me they're cutting corners with the Huxley. They could have given us some kind of stand, you know, just a simple little puck with a post on it to put this on. That would have been fine. That would have been fine, but you can't do anything with it. It's kind of unfortunate. But you know, it's a nice little weapon set. I will say it's not the best one, not the worst one. I think that probably the first weapon set that we got, the one with the laser drones and with the laser rifle and stuff, I think that was probably the best one we've gotten so far. But this one is decent enough. I really like the Zimmerman. I just wish that we were able to make both with the parts that we have. But yeah, so super short video. I'm not going to really elaborate too much on this. It's just a bunch of weapons for the Orbiter or whatever armored core set that you get. But yeah, it's you know, decent little weapon set. I'm a little frustrated with having half of the weapon set just be tossed in a bag. Just because we could have gotten usable stuff. It would have been really cool to be able to have 2 Zimmermans, or just if they gave us all these parts for the Huxleys, or they could have laid out these parts in a way to have cost-saving measures. Like this entire upper part of the Huxley is the exact same on both sides. All that they needed to do was make this section down here, the swappable piece, and that would have saved on plastic. It's just, I don't know, it just feels like a waste. But whatever, it's Bandai. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this guy. If you like the video, or if you watch this far, please like the video, obviously. Comment, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see any of my other reviews, I have those posted in my, on a playlist on my channel. If you would like to see any of my parts that I've made, obviously they're just littering my channel. I've 3D printed a whole bunch of these weapon sets myself, and so check those out. If you want to see any of those parts, you can see the videos and associated with those. Also, I just recently launched a new website, so you can go check that out. If you want to see any of the products that I sell, you can go see them there. Also, if you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon. That's probably the best way to do it, honestly. But yeah, that's for like my 3D printing Armored Core stuff. But yeah, super quick, short video. Thank you a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.